Hello, Swole Sisters. I am doing a solo live today here at Shea Justine. We are going to be talking about how to get cardio in during your home workouts, especially if you do not have equipment. So not everybody has a treadmill. Hi, Megan. A treadmill or an elliptical or any kind of cardio equipment. And those people often ask us, hey, I'd like to get my heart rate up. I'd like to get some cardio in. I don't really want to go out for a run and I don't have equipment. How can I do that? So today I'm going to show you 10 different cardio exercises that do not require any equipment. I'm going to give a lot of options. I'll give as many options as I can think of, making these movements low impact, because that's also something that people need, right? I don't have any injuries or any reason why I can't do high impact exercises, but sometimes it's just nice to have the option, right? I don't always want to be jumping. Everybody has their reasons. We might be experiencing joint pain, recovering, or dealing with an injury, and we don't want to be jumping up and down, right? But we still want to be able to get our heart rates up. So I'm going to talk about all of this over the next, let's say 20 minutes or so. Let's see how long it takes me to get through the list. You guys kind of know that I talk a lot. So let's get right into it. We are going to start. Let me make sure you can see. Okay, yeah, you guys can see me okay. So let's begin with the most dreaded, loved to hate cardio exercise, which is the burpee. So the burpee is, it is maligned. And the reason why I think is because most of us when we're like baby exercisers, right? We go into our first cardio class, fitness class, boot camp, whatever. We're not given any options, right? So if the only burpee that you've ever learned is the full on, right? We're going down, we're going like this, right? And they're like, just do as many as you can, right? I can see why people hate this exercise so much. But one thing that I realized, obviously once I was a trainer, but also just through the years, there are so many versions of a burpee. So please give the burpee another chance, because I'm sure you can probably find a version that you actually don't mind doing. I'm not going to say you love it, but you might not mind it. So number one is taking out the impact, right? Hit the floor, step back, right? There's no need to do anything here. You can just come straight back up, reach up, right? So if you do this at a pretty brisk clip, you're gonna get your heart rate up. You don't have to jump. If you feel like getting in, let's say a push-up, right? Drop down to the knees. Little push-up, guys. You don't need to come all the way down and up, right? A nice little efficient, crisp push-up. Step back in, reach up, or come up onto the balls of the feet, right? All of those combinations, that is gonna get your heart rate up. I already am breathing hard, okay? So we know it works. The other great option for the burpee is to elevate it, right? So I don't have anything I trust in here. That's a good height. But if you had a bureau, I have a client who goes into her bathroom because her tub is a great height for push-ups and burpees, and she does them in her bathroom, which I think is amazing. So yeah, elevate your hands, right? So you don't have to hit the floor. I love the elevated burpee version, okay? So make it your own. Burpee, that is number one. Let's move on. Number two, again, one that I think is maligned because we're never given any options for these things. This is high knees. So the classic high knee that you see out on football fields and in boot camp classes is, you put your arms up and then you're supposed to be able to smack your hands with your knees the whole time, right? It's like it's a great one. If you want to do that one, that's great. A few things I'll say is you can do one at a time, right? You don't have to be jumping up and down as you do this. Lift those knees one at a time. Take out this standard. There's nothing special about hitting your hand, guys, right? So don't worry about that. Get the arms going, right? It can be a march. It can be here, right? You don't have to leave the ground. But you do 30 seconds of this and ooh, you're gonna be feeling it, right? So high knees, that is number two. So easy, so accessible, just as far as the simplicity of the movement. Number three, jacks. Let me give you some options here. So you know the classic, right? We're like, oh my God, we're all in gym class doing jacks, all right? So let me show you some options here. Step out, step in. right? Or the seal jack, which I really like, and it looks like this. So we come, let me see if I can do it. Like this. It's kind of fun. I don't know why it's called the seal jack. I guess because seals have fins and then they like clack their fins together, right? Not sure. But you can also, right here, love low impact options. It's all good, okay? So jacks, that's number 3. Now let's get into one that maybe you haven't seen before. So this is a combination, and I'll break it up. So the first one is a front kick. On its own, front kick is a great cardio exercise, right? So it looks like this. We kick out, step, out, step, out, step, okay? I'm gonna give you a combination here. Jazz it up a little bit. Here's what it looks like. You kick up, the same leg that kicks up goes back, and you touch down. So we kick, touch, kick, touch. Another great no high impact, right? I'm not jumping, I'm not doing any plyometrics, but yet this is really gonna get the heart rate up. So it's a kick, touchdown combination. Yeah, add that one in. You're gonna love it. All right, so number 5, lateral hops. So moving laterally is really important. A lot of times, most people's exercise routines, we are only moving in the sagittal plane, which means we're going this way or we're going this way, right? This is the frontal plane. This is lateral, right? Important, right? We need that lateral movement. Side planks, side lunges, all of that. So lateral hops are a great way to do this. Now, if you have something like, actually, you know what I could use? I'm gonna use a belt, right? So I have my belt here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over the belt, right? So it's like I have ski poles. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna try to land as light as possible, right? So trying to land, I call it a kitten paw landing, right? You know, like cats, they land and it's nice and soft. Trying to minimize the impact of the landing. Exactly. And so that's lateral hops, right? And you can get pretty quick, right? Back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, it's a fun one. Yeah, it's bouncy though. So it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to bounce around. Totally fine. All right. Number 6, another lateral movement here, which is the skater. Skater, so love the skater. I mean, it's honestly not one of my favorites, I'm not gonna lie. So the skater looks like this. Let me show you the most kind of like common version. I'm gonna take a big jump to the side. The opposite leg swings back behind me. Okay, so from a side view, it looks like this, right? So what I'm doing is I'm really loading this hip, and then I'm sinking down, and then I'm gonna jump out of that side onto the other side, right? So it ends up looking like this. So sometimes you might see people reaching down to touch the floor. I don't love touching the floor, and it's just not an option for everyone, so just take it or leave it. The other thing is bring the impact down. Big step and reach. Step, reach, step, reach, right? You don't need to leave the ground to do this. And you don't have to reach down. You can reach across, right? That's also good. Whew, see? Telling you, it works. I'm breathing hard. Oh, all right, let's strip down, everybody. Cool, so what was that one? Skater. 7, plyo lunge. Okay, well, to be honest with you, just doing a pretty high repetition of reverse lunges is most likely gonna get your heart rate up. So you can think about it this way. You don't have to make everything explosive to make it have that cardio impact. You can also just move crisply with good form with a little more speed, right? So you might find, right, keeping it pretty tight. I'm not doing a big lunge, right? I'm keeping it tight, switch, 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 right? So that's a low impact option. Plyometric lunges, they're exactly what you think they are, right? We're gonna go from one side. I'm gonna use my arms for momentum. I'm gonna jump, right? And the faster you go, right? I mean, I want to say it's harder. I mean, it's all difficult, right? So when you first start these, take your time, right? Take your time. And if you start them and you can't finish them, just go into your reverse lunges, right? Crisp, quick movements will get your heart rate up. You don't have to be jumping. Number 8, jump squat. So, again, kind of what it sounds like. Few things you can do with your arms here. So one is, I'm gonna load them behind me, right? And then as I jump, I'm gonna come up, reach over my head. So at the top, I'm pointing my toe, right? Full, we call that triple extension, ankle, knee, hip. Reaching up, hopefully I'm in kind of a straight line between my joints, you know, kind of, doesn't have to be perfect. Another way to get into it is reach down and then jump up, right? So reach towards the floor and then jump up. Another way to take the jump out is just to get the triple extension without leaving the floor. So hopefully you can see my feet from here. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see the screen very well, but so reaching down and then coming up onto the balls of the feet. So inhale down, exhale up. Right? Right there, right? So that's, right, that's that triple extension. Whew. Right? You're gonna get a really good heart rate kicker, whether you leave the ground or not. All right, oh gosh, mountain climbers. Who put these on the list? Let's go to those last because I wanna show you the knee drives and then I'll come down onto the floor. So let's turn that knee drives into number 9. Now we'll do mountain climbers. So knee drives, another fantastic low impact option. Whoo, mama does it get the heart rate up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna load one leg, plant the back ball of the foot, reach the arms over the head. I'm gonna make a little clasp with my right inside my thumb crease there, right? So I'm holding on tight, arms are up above the head, and then I'm gonna drive the knee in and pull my hands towards my hips, okay? So I'm gonna come here to here, all right? So full throttle, it's gonna look like this. And you'll notice I'm staying pitched forward and this knee is staying bent the whole time, right? So I'm not coming up like this, right? Where it's all like I'm kind of coming in and out. I'm gonna lock it in on the left side and then drive the knee. It's gonna get not just the legs, but a really great burn for your upper body as well. So the knee drive, such a great one that is low impact, but will definitely get that heart rate up. All right, let's bring it down to the flow. Gonna tip my, hopefully y'all can see. Really need my glasses. Okay, mountain climbers. A lot of different thing here, and I'm gonna actually put in alternating shoulder taps as another possible option while you're down here. So many different ways to manipulate. Basically, you're manipulating a high plank in order to get that heart rate up. Great for core, whew, as well. So the classic kind of mountain climber that you will see, starting in a high plank, hands directly under shoulders. I'm gonna hop the knees in, right? One version that I don't ever do, but I've seen, is that when people bring the knee in, they put down the toes, so it kind of looks like this. I guess I'm not against that. It's just not one that I do, and I don't coach it, but I don't see anything wrong with it. So yeah, mountain climbers here. Some pitfalls. People end up like this, right? Or they end up, well, I guess they don't really end up here so much. Usually it ends up that they're pushing back, almost like you're doing a down dog with the knee drives, right? So really important to keep the alignment, and that alignment is shoulder directly over wrist, okay? So obviously we don't have to jump, right? Knee tucks, great option, right? If being in a high plank on its own is really challenging for you, let's move it into the arms and see how that feels. So instead of knee drives, alternating shoulder taps, right? You can do step out, step in, right? So that's gonna definitely get the heart rate up. Or if you don't wanna be on your wrists, come down to elbows. You can come out and in, right? And another one that I wanna throw out there as a bonus is the plank jack, which, not gonna lie, pretty miserable. I would only do it in small doses, but it's kind of what it sounds like, starting with feet in and jumping in and out, right? Also option, of course, is the step out, but you can do that from the knee, from the elbows as well, right? And you're just trying to keep your butt from ending up here or here, right? Trying to keep that alignment even as you're moving all around, okay? So that was 10. I want to say I may have given you a bonus one. So we went over burpees, high knees, jacks. Where's number 4? Lateral hops, skaters, plyometric lunges, jump squats. Oh, front kick to touchdown. That's my favorite one. Combos are kind of fun. I like combo moves because it feels less repetitious, right? You're just doing like mountain climbers for 30 seconds or whatever. It's kind of nice to do like kick, touchdown, kick, touchdown. I don't know, psychologically. We did knee drives and then went down for the mountain climbers. So as far as how many to do, I prefer time instead of rep for this. And a pretty good rule of thumb is to do half the amount of rest for time worked. Meaning, if you do 30 seconds on, you would take a 15-second rest. If you do a full minute, you're gonna take 30 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You get the idea, okay? But that being said, you need to tailor things to where you're at, right? Some days you feel great, right? And you're like, oh my God, I don't even need this rest. Other days you need the rest, okay? So just really be flexible with yourself. Throw one of these into a circuit if you want, or you can keep them for just doing something on their own, right? And I'll put in the Tabata format in the comments. Tabata format is a really popular format, which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 rounds. It ends up being 4 minutes. People like it because it's very brief, and it's just a really great way to get a really good cardio kick without taking a bunch of time. So if I missed any cardio moves that don't require equipment that you like or are familiar with, definitely pop them in the comments so that we can all benefit. And yeah, try these out. Let me know how it goes. You probably know from posts that Jen and I have opened the doors to our 3-month Intuitive Eating for Beginners course. We're so freaking pumped about it. So if you've heard, obviously you follow us. So if you're like, what is all this intuitive eating business? This sounds like something I'm interested in. This is a really wonderful way to take your first steps into intuitive eating. It is designed for people who have maybe heard of it, but don't really know what it is or how, certainly not how to apply it. So we take you step by step through the first 8 steps, the first principles of intuitive eating. And by the end, we are hoping everyone can let go of food guilt, start listening to their internal cues around hunger and fullness, and stop dieting, right? So getting out of that diet cycle that can really make us feel like crap about ourselves. So we've got that up in the feed, so you'll find links to it, but I'll put a link to it in the comments as well. Check it out, find out more info, and sign up before Monday. All right, everybody, love y'all, and we'll see you next time.